Hey Taurus, I hope you guys are doing amazing and happy Friday. Thank you guys so much for all your support and thank you for being so patient. But we're going to do your reading today, so do take it as it resonates, of course. But let's see where the energy brings us for the Taurus energy. So, the Taurus ancestors, deceased loved ones, spirit team, show up for us today. Thank you, God, Spirit, for being here and allowing me to be the deliverer of messages for the Taurus today. Whoever it may be that comes across this reading, God will know, Spirit already knows. Let's find out. You got the Magician in the reverse, the Temperance card, the Page of Wands, the Two of Swords reversed, the Knight of Swords reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed, and then the Empress as well. It's a very long story already. The Hierophant in the reverse on the bottom. That is a Taurus energy in itself. So something that you guys are trying to do is actually going against the grain. So if you want to think about how people always have traditions to do stuff, you're doing something differently instead. So it's just as simple as like, now the holidays are coming around. We'll just use that as an example. If this is so happen to be the thing, then heck yeah. But if it's not, just giving you something to really kind of give it more structure so you can look at it a little better and perceive it the way that you need to. But if you think about the holidays, everybody seems to do what they seem to do, and they've been doing it forever, right? So they don't really want to change it up. They don't really want to see something as something to perceive it as differently. No, they want to keep themselves in that box, and that's limited, that's safe, that's comfortable. But you're over here expanding yourself or breaking the box and not wanting to do that. You want to do something different for Thanksgiving, so it's say. Or if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas, or or Hanukkah or whatever, it's just something in that sense. Just know that we're pertaining it to the holidays in this general statement. But you want to have maybe a dinner somewhere different. Say like, I don't want to have everybody cook because you know what, everybody's too tired after they cook, and then it's really not as that much of a spending time together. Well, let's actually go to do something instead and go out to eat. Whatever may be, there's something happening significantly that you're doing differently. And it just happens to be that you guys are, trying to bring a sense of balance back into your life because you're really tired of, either you're tired and drained, you're exhausted, nobody's noticing, you're feeling underappreciated. These things are making you feel like you have a lack of ability to do specific things because you're drained, you're tired, you're exhausted. How can I do all this extra stuff when I'm feeling this way? So you're just trying to bring peace and balance, and you do have a voice behind it. The Page of Wands means you have a lot of fire and passion for what you're speaking and how you're saying it, just to get your point across in the sense of make a difference, to make a change. Now, the Two of Swords in the reverse means that you guys have definitely seen this. You're not blind to it. You know what it is you're saying specifically. With the Knight of Swords reverse, it kind of just means that people aren't necessarily hearing what you're saying. And that's because they're blocking themselves out from hearing it because they're limited to a comfort zone, that they only want to see it from their point of view because their tradition was to keep that going the whole time. That's what they're used to. That's what they're comfortable with. They don't want to have to go outside of the comfort zone. Okay, but you have the right to say what you have to say, to do the things you want to do, to change whatever it is you want to change. If you don't want to show up to family dinner because of whatever reason and you'd rather go do something for yourself, that is honestly a different story for you. That's okay. That's your experience. That's what you are meant to do. What happens and how it affects others is not actually truly a personal thing. They're going to have to realize that your choice for you is not personal in any way to them. And of course, if they take it that way, that is a reflection of how they feel about themselves already. And that is just something for them to have to, you're planting the seed in their brain. That's all you got to know. Eventually, that's going to get watered by some kind of information, and it's going to grow, and it's going to help them see that they were inside of a comfort zone and they were only mad because you weren't enabling them to keep staying in that comfort zone. Okay, and they're going to notice that eventually, but you're going to see that they may not have the heart for you, or they might be a little angry or aggressive, because the Queen of Cups in reverse means like no emotional, like they could be all of a sudden, I'm not talking to you, I'm going to give you the silent treatment, I'm not going to do the things for you that you want me to do, or I'm not going to come around, whatever it may be. But the Queen of Cups has no empathy. So shut down completely, like blocked out the emotions, shut down vulnerability, do not be open, heart chakra blocked. Okay, and then the Empress is like, well, you're going to still walk upon all this, and you're just going to still have grace, you're still going to have love, you're going to still be happy and smiling, and you're going to be feeling a lot better because you chose yourself over all this craziness and all this chaoticness and all this misunderstanding and all these people not wanting to understand because they're not actually reaching you halfway. You're trying to meet them halfway, and they're not even coming. You even maybe met them an extra quarter of that half, and they're still not coming. So you know what? You're like, yeah, I'm not going to keep trying to exhaust myself and tire myself from trying to give somebody something or trying to get them to do whatever. I'm just going to do what makes me feel good. And that's it. That's all she wrote. And you know what? As long as you're happy, that's really what matters. That's really what matters. You know, and as long as you feel like it benefited you, that it didn't make you feel drained or exhausted, you didn't give your energy to something or time to something that wasn't going to benefit you. You did something different because you felt the need to do something different. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that at all. So you're breaking a sense of a tradition. You're doing something different. You're doing something you're not, it's a non-conformist type of energy. You're not conforming to what somebody else or the whole picture of people wanted. You're conforming to something. Now you're being a non-conformist because you're not conforming to that, but you're going to conform for yourself, something different for you, because you know what you've been going through. You've been walking in your shoes. These people haven't. It doesn't matter if they live with you, whatever. They don't see every little thing you go through. Believe me. I know. I live in my house, and I got everybody. I got my kiddos. I got my fiance and everything. And I do a lot, but it seems like they don't notice the things I do. But that's because they don't see everything I do, right? They're not around all the time to see all the things I'm doing. So when I do all the things I'm doing, it's like they can come home and throw their shoes on. Now they're getting better at putting their shoes by the front door. They can throw their jackets, their backpacks all on the floor. You know, if they are get into something, they just leave it there, and all the things that happen. But I'm still continuously picking it up, but they don't notice that. They don't notice it. But that's the feeling. It's like, you're like, yeah, well, you wouldn't know everything I'm going through because you're not here all the time. So you would just maybe think that I'm just sitting around and doing nothing, and that I have all this energy and all this time to do stuff. But that's not what you would know, because you're not here to know that I'm actually doing all this extra stuff. I had paperwork to do. I have this to fill. I had this to do. I had to get on my phone and go into this app because this app's specific. Maybe it's like, a working thing, you have to do it. Or maybe it's something else like a bill or whatever you had to pay or whatever. But there's things you're doing all day, picking things up, dusting stuff off, wiping things down, doing the dishes, putting the garbage in the garbage can out front. There's just a lot of things that you're doing all the time, but nobody really sees all the things you're doing. But you do, and you need to validate yourself. That's what's most important. You see it. Why do you have to wait for somebody else to see it? You see it, right? You know what you're doing, so you got to be your own best friend and be like, I'm proud of myself. I know what I did. And I know what I do. And I know what I do to keep things maintained and keep things organized and keep this and do this. And I'm doing the things that I know I need to do. So I know that my energy and time is being focused on the things that matter to me. Maybe other people don't see it that way. That's not your problem, though. It never was. Nothing is ever personal. Let me tell you, you doing you is not personal. And if somebody takes it that way, they have an attachment to you that's not very obviously unhealthy. It's an unhealthy attachment. They're looking at you to hold something down, but you're like, yeah, but I don't want to hold something down that I'm not feeling the benefit from, or I'm not feeling the good old joy from. It's not happening. Like, so you're not going to hold it down, and then it's going to come floating up, and they're not going to know what to do because you were the one holding it down the whole time. Oh no, oh man, things are changing, earthquake, things are changing, I can't handle this shift, I can't handle this difference. That's this energy that's coming up. I'll get a little bit more. Let's see some Osho's in with it. Something about adventure, because it was about to flop itself out with a bunch, but it stopped. So if it doesn't come out, it doesn't matter. I do see some things that flip, so when I do catch the glimpse, I'll know that you're trying to hesitate on something. So I kind of see what it was, but the dream is out here. So there, somebody, okay, that's really what it is. It's like somebody has a dream, and they have a dream of keeping everything the same. The same. But you know what? They're not thinking of anybody else in the picture. They're only thinking of themselves and what it does for them instead of everybody else. They're not thinking about that. So somebody here is a little selfish. They got a little bit of number 6 is significant. I don't know if it's like life path number 6, the 6th day of the month, maybe June. But no, they have a dream, and you've been holding down their dream. What about your dreams? What about your benefits? What about your freedom? What about what you want to hold down? That's what's happening. You've been holding down someone else's dream here. Now you know what? They're going to have to learn to hold their own dream down. They're going to have to. You can't enable them anymore by continually doing what they want you to do because they want you to do it. That's the only reason why they want you to do it so bad is because they want you to do. They don't care about anybody else or anybody else's feelings or anybody else's emotions about the thing. No, they want you to do it. By the way, you got Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, Libra, Cancer. Those are the signs that are out here. Most of them are the same. You got like Sagittarius twice. You got Gemini twice. Libra twice. Cancer once. Taurus once. Well, Taurus twice because the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck here. Okay. Well, with that being the case, what should the collective Taurus energy here do? No, you're not compromising. Oh, comparison. Ha! I thought it was a compromise. Oh, you know what? I can't read upside down very great. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Comparison number 5 in the reversal. Now, that's what you're not going to be doing. It says it doesn't matter if this person tries to compare something. Don't listen to them. They're only trying to compare to what they're thinking and what they want. So they could be like, well, you know, if we did it like this and it's gonna be like that, that's not gonna, you know, if you get this food instead, you know, makes them maybe want to order the food for Thanksgiving instead of making the food. You're like, I'm gonna get the food, we're gonna order the food, we're gonna, you know, it's not gonna be as good, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna go down as well, blah 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 blah. But they're not the ones helping you clean up the thing. They leave. They only come for so long. They're not the ones helping you cook. You know, they're not doing the, you know, I'm just giving you an example of what is happening. They're not helping you. They're not here. They're not all up in your house doing the things with you to help take the drainage or the exhaustion off of your plate. No, they want you to do it because they're like, oh, no, I just know you're going to do it because you're going to do it because you've always done it. And they'll try to compare, like, oh, well, you know, this, and then like this, and what about, like, you know, they'll be all negative about it. But that's when you're going to shut it down. You go, I don't have to listen to that. It doesn't matter. You know what matters is if the family gets together and we're together, and that's what matters. And we have time for each other. That's what matters. That's what matters to you. Like, and I mean, I'm giving you, like, it could be anything, but it's something that matters to you. You're gonna say what matters to you. No, what matters to me is this, and you're gonna keep yourself calm. And if they so happen to want to argue or whatever, you do not have to put up with it. You don't. You can hang up. You can just be like, you know, once you calm down, you can give me a ring back, or we'll catch up later, or whatever it may be. But that's something you're gonna have to sit with. It is. It's like somebody throwing a tantrum, like a toddler or whatever, not getting that candy from the candy store and they're throwing a fit. But you know what? Eventually, one day they're gonna learn. Well, mom couldn't handle me being all hyped up, sugary all that day. Mom couldn't. Maybe she didn't have the 50 cents in her purse to get that lollipop for me. And you know what? When they become an adult, they'll see what they need to see, and that experience that you showed them some kind of patience and maturity. So this is what this person also has to learn. You see what I'm saying? Also, number 5 could be significant. Life path number 5, 5th day of the month, May. Could be May 6th or June 5th, specifically here. On the bottom, success. You're going to have success with the situation. You're going to have success with doing what you got to do to non-conform to whatever tradition this is and basically do non-traditional, non-conformist things. And yeah, you will find yourself in a more peaceful situation because of it. Let's get a few messages. Let's see. A person who really has an eye on you, watching you everywhere, asking about you, a stalker energy. A divine commendation, praise, reward, impressed by your hard work. Angel number 774, keep making us proud. So the spiritual energies are saying, keep making us proud. You're doing great. They have divine commendation for you. They're praising you and rewarding you. But whoever this is, a person who really has an eye on you and has been stalking you, basically, stalker energy. They're asking about you everywhere they go. When they see somebody that you know, they ask about you. Somebody's got that stalker, and you're getting this directly from source. Change and traveling, 10 and 8. I don't know, maybe October 8th, August 10th. Life path number 8. Maybe the 18th day specifically could be too. Interesting. This isn't just a physical human person. This isn't somebody who's alive. You're actually being watched and stalked by a spiritual energy, by somebody in heaven. They're actually trying to help you make this change. So they're not necessarily like stalking you in a bad way. They're just watching you, as an eye on you, asking about you, asking the spirit team, your spirit team, asking ancestors, different they're already one of your people. They're one of your people, whether you knew them in this life, one before they passed away, or some other life, but they know you, and they've been curious about you. And the traveling is perfect, because when I see these three cards together, it's an immediate knowing that there's a whirlwind between the two, and Source gives them the ability to travel, which would be them traveling soulfully. Okay, with their soul, they're able to come and view. And it's not like they're viewing with eyes, they're viewing with their feel, the energy feel, the vibrations. So maybe this is something that you guys aren't very vocal about. Like, if you maybe you don't talk to yourself all the time. I don't know. I mean, I would assume most people talk to themselves, but I guess I've been wrong. So I talk to myself all the time, like out loud. So I know that the energies around me that are near me are listening to what I'm saying. And I do. I speak my truth. I express myself all the time. I can't not do it. I don't want to ever suppress how I feel about things. Even when people aren't around, I talk to myself. But I know there's other things listening, because I do have a spirit team, and I know they're there, and I know they want to hear what I have to say. But this is the energy I'm feeling. Like, you don't really just talk out loud. You don't just express yourself. Like, you don't just say the things out loud. Maybe you keep it in your head. Maybe you're more of a thinker than you are a talker. I'm a whole lot of both. Okay. So I can even talk a lot, but I'm not even saying half my thoughts. My mind is racing like lightning, and my mouth is the thunder. It's taken a minute to catch up. And I say that a lot, but it's true. So this is telling me that there's an energy that actually really wants to hear it from you, like the horse's mouth in itself, um, because they're asking about you, to your spirit team, to your deceased loved ones, to the things that are around you, and they're not getting the accurate information because they don't even hear you say things. So they're not getting very far with that. So they would rather you maybe just start saying things out loud. But there's somebody watching you, because they want to help you more. They do. They want to help you make this change and feel good about it. Feel confident with it. Don't feel guilty. That's the energy, because you've been under a lot of stress. Number 7 here. Yeah, that's why you needed this reading, though. And I hope it helped. I really do. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday and Sunday. And I hope you guys have a happy holidays. Have happy holidays. Good Lord, can I not talk all of a sudden? Anyways, thank you guys again.